Yo. How we doing today? Oh man, another day, another draft. Today we're going back to the ranks versus the lobby. I put the finishing touches on the ranks, so uh, things take me a while to get to bed. That whole ordeal. So I go home to the Patreon. So when I'm done, I can go ahead and move that about. Had a nice little discussion about MHJ and Elite Neighbors. Had did I say 15K impressions? Pretty good for your boy. Pretty good. Pretty good. That was the last time I checked. Said something like that. Uh, I don't think it's a bad idea to throw that out there. Uh, 14K. 14K. Some people were really butthurt about me even bringing that topic up. I don't know. I think Daniel Jones, got his wide receiver, just like when Josh Allen got his Stephon Diggs. Completely different player. A target earner, or a person that's always open, someone he can dump it off to, and that person do great things with it. And now that, and maybe it's just like I reflect too much on the past and what I've seen in the past and seeing how things work with certain coaches. Like Brian Daboll, I should be working on my rankings. Brian Daboll was a part of that change with Diggs, and he had this guy named John Brown, a high flyer of sorts. And so, like, what would happen is Hyatt would always he was just running nines all day, and occasionally he would get a few shots, which is what we're hoping with Hyatt. We're not looking for him to be 1,000-yard receiver. We're looking for a 500-yard receiver with like two of those games just being huge spike weeks. That's what we're really hoping with Hyatt for. But regardless, was aside the point. Neighbors, what up, Chris? How you doing today, man? Yeah, well, we're hoping with Neighbors is that like he is, Stephon Diggs for Daniel Jones, and we're getting a steal of Daniel Jones in the last around 16, 17 for him. I think Neighbors is a smash if where he's currently going, third round, early third round. Versus MHJ going at where he has to be perfect. He has to do all these things. I don't know. Just putting that out there. Just throwing out a couple seeds for when it does come into fruition that Neighbors is gonna have the targets. He may get all the red zone work. Who knows? Like who is better than Neighbors on that team? Nobody. You know what I mean? Like he's going to be their everything. MHJ's got some cover competition. I haven't taken either. Yeah, I've recently just started taking a little bit of MHJ because just why not, right? But I don't think he's a bad player, and I think he has potential for a spike week to do well in week 17. I'm not going on my way to draft him. It's like he's got to have a fall a little bit, or I have to have Puka Nacua. But I'm definitely not going to be overweight on him. I'm going to be overweight on Neighbors, just because I feel like there is a bounce back for the Giants. I'm not a Giants homer or anything like that. I just see, they had one good year, got a tougher schedule, had a bad year, going to have an easier schedule, going to have probably a better year than they did before. They still have a lot of things they need to work on, but I don't know. I have faith in Daboll as a offensive head coach. I don't know. And their defense isn't like great. There's not a lot of Singletary's going to hold on the fort for the most part. I could just see them trailing and doing a lot of dump offs and stuff along those lines. Let's see. Who did I set off? Who did I make mad the most here? I apologize, Stockman. I think that's who it was. Oh man, who was popping? LBM poll: targets are worthless if a QB can't throw. He can throw. He's underthrown a couple, and honestly, those are good in the NFL sometimes because you draw the DPI. But that's one. That's 1 point. That's fair, but I would argue MHJR. That's too many letters. Let's just go with MHJ. Needs to move back rather than Neighbors moving up. I agreed with that sentiment that Stonk brought up. And then this guy was like, this LBPM, whatever, blah. The troop of the beat reporters say he's been missing Neighbors deep all camp so far. Early days seem he's like regressing off the ACL, which he's just coming off the ACL. And then he posted a video of him like underthrowing the ball. And I'm like, okay, dude. There's a difference. And then I sent him a clip of him like throwing a perfect ball on the other side of the sideline. And look, I just think it's silly when people throw one video or one clip out there. I mean, shit happens all the time. Like, just because he does one thing poorly doesn't mean he does everything like great. It's just people are not happy. Never will we flip MHJ over Neighbors. Never. I don't know. Set the world on fire a little bit on Sunday. Oh, let's see here. Let's go ahead. Say put Gesicki up. I moved Eric All up a little bit. Move Gesicki up a little bit. Yeah, that looks good to me. Looks good enough. Looks like good enough. So let's go ahead and up this to the Patreon. Create text ranks 729. Attachments. I didn't upload yet. CVS up download. And Patreon upload. Bada bing, bada boom. And I do not want to play Apex Legends. Thank you. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get ready to jump into this lobby real quick. Best Ball Millie Maker. Okay. For those who don't know, my stream is like on a 4 or 5 second delay. I don't know how to change that. So when I get to like 4 or 5, you jump in because that's when I'm going to press go. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Waiting on 6 to 12. Patreon is up. Go ahead, tweet out. I need to get on YouTube. Tweet out this channel. Tweet out my video, I should say. Not my channel. Well, and my channel. I need to put my channel in my Twitter bio. I realized I don't do that. 4 likes. Let's go, boys. That's like over 5 likes. Over half, almost everybody liked the video. I appreciate it, everybody. Shares X. Ranks versus lobby. Post. Yep. Double check if it's gone. Contest details. 11 of 12. CR Simons, Brad Beats, Undead Brandon, Kieran, Giants and Dwarfs, myself, Sal Paradisimo, Rat with Wings, Ravomaniac. So none of these names I've heard of except for potentially Sal Paradismo. And if you want me to read your team, please say you're in the draft, and I'll happily read your team at the end of this. Well, if you're subscribed to the channel, we'll do it. I'm at like 18% neighbors. Yes, I'm at 16% neighbors on DraftKings and 12 or 14% on Underdog. It's on Underdog. It's tough for me to get him because unless I have a top 5, Oliver. Unless I have like a top half of the board, I'm never going to get him. And even then, it's like, do I want a couple shares of like of what's it called of DK Metcalf and Cooper Kupp? So like I have to, my exposures are going to spread pretty deep, like differently, and then some people might draft him regardless. I faked through a blanket, hit my cat, and it threw my son's controller. That did not get fake thrown. All right. Thankfully, it's all magnetic. DJ Moore and Kupp are nice there, too. Yeah, well, yeah, Kupp is my second or third highest owned wide receiver. So that is who I'm usually bouncing between. Like, if there's a good value in the second round, I'll take that value. And then I hope to get Kupp in the third round. What else did I do? I'm probably in the draft. Hey, we got the number 1 pick. Okay. Let me pull up the board. Let me put myself on auto. We're getting, of course, I think 2 or 3 of these times I've gotten the number 1 pick. And it's been on the what am I trying to say? The draft versus the lobby stuff. I've had the first pick like 2 out of the 3 times, and I've only had the number 1 pick like 6 times total. But hey, it is what it is. CMC goes 1 overall. Man, let's go. Rat with wings. That's such a weird name. What up, Brent? How you doing, buddy? Long time? Well, it's not that long. You were here not that long ago. Long enough time to say. Did a spicy wing challenge. You don't have to watch it. I did not finish it. My face was going numb about halfway through, and I was like, well, if my face is going numb, I don't know what's going to happen on the other side. I was like, I'm going to throw a white flag. I'm not trying to impress anybody. That was just for fun. This is kind of videos you just do for fun every once in a while. Probably won't get to any other fun ones. I wanted to do the hot dog one, but we're approaching go time. And do you have streaming? Do you have this streaming somewhere else too? Yes, I have it on my Twitch. And the Twitch channel is Piquant Pecan. Capital PIQUANT, no space, capital PECAN. I literally don't do anything different for them. I am affiliated with Twitch. I don't know if my affiliation expires, or whatever. But at one point, I was only on Twitch, and I wasn't cheating the system by any means, but I went through to 50 people in real life, asked them to sub to my Twitch, and then to like my Twitch or whatever, the follow my Twitch. And then I would get on my tablet, I would get on my phone, and I would get on my laptop or something like that. And I would have all 3 going up because you had to average 3 viewers. So over a period of time. And so I did everything, and you had to refresh it every once in a while. Russell wouldn't count as a viewer. Man, it was a struggle back then, just to hustle. And then I finally got it. And then I just didn't have time. I had my son, and then I played games, but it was hard to keep up, and nobody cared. So nobody was subscribing to me. Nobody, I wasn't Ninja. I was just a regular dude. So you got a shout out on Tom's DK data video yesterday. You have any thoughts on the data? Yeah, I mean, I think it's. See, the thing is that we've only played 4 or 5 slates total, And DraftKings, it's different, right? Like there's different types of drafters in general. So like there was that person that got like a one quarterback through, and it was didn't do anything. I always stream both places, Blake. Just a quick answer your question. I used to do Facebook and Twitter, but Twitter you have to be a premium person with a little check mark thing, and I'm not paying $8 a month for a check mark. Yeah, I was surprised the double stacks didn't perform better. Yeah, I had was it like I had like 5 little mini stacks, and then like a bunch of them were game stacks. And again, week 17, I was not personally going out of my way to make week 17 game stacks. It literally just happened to be that way. And something that like Leone says, it's like you're not really supposed to have the quarterback from the other same game in that game. Yeah, Cooper Kupp, we'll take it. So we didn't get Neighbors, but that's okay. What was I saying? Yes, but it had Zach Wilson, so it wasn't like I was fully relying on him, but I wouldn't have gotten to the finals had Zach Wilson not been on that team. So in the end, like it happens, and from what I hear, it's not as optimal. But I think if it fits the build, I think you should do it. So 3 quarterbacks did really well, and I think you should always try to do 3 quarterbacks on DraftKings. I think 4 quarterbacks, you're kind of wasting a spot unless you're playing 1 quarterback with 2 quarterbacks. If you're like in the Pittsburgh situation or the Las Vegas situation or even the New Orleans situation. I wouldn't be surprised if Spencer Rattler took over midway through the season if he's like progressing. And if he shows something in preseason, I can see Spencer getting onto the field sometime this season. Because I don't know, maybe it's just because I watched all the games too closely, but I thought there was no connection like mentally with Chris Olave and Derek Carr. And Chris Olave is a pretty good player. I just think they need a better quarterback. Oh, Puka Nacua went at 1-6. Interesting. Yeah, it makes sense that he does something weird. Pat Mahomes in the third. So he's going to try to get Travis Kelce, but Kelce goes where he goes. Sometimes he goes early, sometimes he doesn't. I like what the 4 spot did, but why did CeeDee Lamb go in the 4 spot? Like I love Chase too, and maybe because I just don't get enough two spot, and I don't even like the Cowboys in general. But getting Lamb at 4, that's spicy. Yeah, see, I don't know why you go unless you like other wide receivers. I guess if you with the Chiefs, if I wanted Kelce, I would take Kelce first, or if I wanted Mahomes, I'd take Kelce first because it's what I do with like Lamar and Mark Andrews. Personally, like it's not going to be my ranks this way, but if I'm personally drafting, I'm going to take Mark Andrews first. And if I don't get Lamar, that's fine because I usually don't have, Zay Flowers or Derrick Henry. So then I usually go a different route. I watched most of the DK data video. To be honest with you, I listened to like 20 hours of information. I kind of things come and go. I sometimes stuff sticks, but I don't remember too much sticking. 3683 just feels about right. I'm a little over 60 drafts on now. I'll go 2 QBs or 2 tight ends if I take 2 before 10. See, that's different. Yeah, and it's all about draft allocation. If you spend 2 top 10 quarterbacks, that makes complete sense to only get 2 quarterbacks. On that specific team that I won with, I'm pretty sure I got Tom Brady in like the 9th or 10th round. I had Gronk in the 9th or 10th round. I got Robert Tonyan in the 15th. Like the allocation I spent on those positions, like I spent 2 running backs early. I got Nick Chubb and I got Najee Harris. So that was 2 running backs I got super early that I knew that I don't need a lot of them. So therefore, I'm going to draft a little bit less of the running backs, and I got who did I also have on that team? I had Devin Singletary, which I got fairly late, and I had because he was in the camp battle with Zach Moss that year, and everybody's telling me, "Oh, he's going to lose a job, Zach Moss." I'm like, I don't think so, and so I took him a little early, a little bit earlier on in a lot of teams, and then I had the guy from Myles Gaskin that played for Miami. I got him in like the last round of a lot of drafts, and who was the fifth? Probably didn't play. Oh, Leonard Fournette. I got him in like the 9th or 8th. So I'm like, I had a pretty good value with those 3 running backs, and I got 2 late ones. Who did I get here? I got Christian Kirk and Trey McBride. I'm not mad at it. I got a little week 17 correlation there. Let me pull down the page a little bit. There we go. Have you done? I haven't done any eliminators. I'm just quite going to do the BBM, and I'm going to start focusing on week 1 fantasy football after I'm done with my when I'm done with both of the best balls. I might do a weekly eliminator or not a weekly winner, just because I like to have 1 or 2 teams, a week. But I'm gonna be doing. I'll probably do a few drafts every week on the what's the underdog battle royale. I might do a few battle royales a week on camera. I haven't quite decided whether I'll do that or not, but I might. Yeah, so I had 3 running backs fairly early. I got 3 quarterbacks mid to late, and then I just stockpiled. I had my Cooper Kupp, my Chris Godwin, right? I had that in the 3-4, and then I got my Jamar Chase in the 5th. I'm trying to think who else was on the team. And I just stockpiled wide receivers. So 10 wide receivers, and I got a hit with ASB late, right? Obviously, I drafted quite a few ASB, but he was. I heard who they were. He was talking with somebody, going over my team with somebody, and they thought that I got like ASB in the 6th. Nah, dude, that was like a 17th or 19th round pick. He wasn't getting drafted in every league. He was Puka Nacua, essentially. He was Puka Nacua before Puka Nacua was a thing, right? So or Tank Dell, it's a big surprise, late season surge. Yeah, I had Mike Williams as well on that team, who ended up popping off on the last week. He wasn't like a terrible pick, but he wasn't like an amazing pick either. Interested to see how the 4 team goes. It's 14. Got a big Baltimore stack. I like it. I've got $100 slow with the same top 3. And that's 4-5 turn. Yeah. I don't know what he got in the first round. Something. He got CD. Oh, so you got CD at the 4 hole as well. I guess I'm the only unlucky person that doesn't get him at the 4 hole. So a double elite tight end, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Who knows? Could work out. I don't know about taking Marvin Harrison at 9. See, how do you if he's the guy, then he's the guy, right? But you're spending so much capital on Marvin Harrison. You're telling me you think Marvin Harrison is going to be a better pick at 9 than AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson? I don't know. I personally don't agree with that. But if you want the combination of Saquon Barkley and Marvin Harrison, yeah, you got to take one of them at 190 and the other at 2-4. So if you want that combination of players, which might have led to the fall of DK Metcalf at 3-9, holy cannoli. That was a little bit of a weird draft. A little bit. There's a lot of value. I have to assume that I may not get Najee. That's another thing with getting the 1 hole and having my rankings in. Sometimes it's just too close to where I have him ranked and where he's technically supposed to go. So it's hard to actually get him when you're at the 1 hole. Mine is in the 3 hole, but the same players. Oh, okay. I wouldn't have gone Mark Ingram, but I don't think it's a bad pick. All right, looks like I'm taking Deontay Johnson. And what else would I have in front of that? I don't remember. Okay, so it's Najee. Don't like the at that point. Yeah, that kind of doesn't kind of fit the team, you know. I think at that point he's already. You put yourself in a hole getting Mark Andrews and Lamar, right? Like it's a great combo, but I think you need to put a receiver in there, like a McConkey or a Deontay. I think he's putting himself in a little bit of a wide receiver hole, but let's see. He can be able to take it out of there. Honestly, if he would have waited, got a wide receiver here, maybe another wide receiver here, and then got Dallas Goedert right here, it would have double tight end. That's not half bad. Kyler Murray, naked. I don't know what he's thinking now. He got his Ravens, and now he's just drafting off of that. Maybe that's what he's doing. Like he's just drafting best available. I've said get your core and then build around your core. So maybe he's got his core. Maybe he's in every draft because it says Raven Maniac. So I'm assuming he drafts all Ravens if he can. So maybe he's drafting the Ravens early and just putting different pieces around it, including quarterbacks and tight ends. So maybe he's thinking that. I don't know. I'm thinking they might be better off taking Kirk in the 4th round and setting up the Jags stack. Could get Dak too. I mean, I like the Jags because look, like you could get Kirk and Ingram potentially, and Dak. You know, or where so in this draft is a scenario. You could have got Kirk, you could have got Ingram, Kirk, Ingram, and Dak, something along those lines. Yeah, I think if you have an idea of what you want to do and you're trying to accomplish something, I think building a team like with the reaches is fine. You may lose some value or whatever. Like the way I look at it is, if you're building a DFS team, if you're going to spend up a little bit to get a player, try to get it to work out. My son's having a ball in his room. I put on the Loud House for that kid, which fuck, I'm not going to bring it up, but it's had something that threw me the fuck off. Ridley, Mixon, Odunze, Brian Thomas. A lot of good wide receivers going off the board. You done any slow? I have done the 0 slows. I don't see the need for it. I'm going to be able to get all the drafts in that I want to get done. I'm pretty much just doing the lottos, and then just I don't think I can get burnt out on it. And obviously, I'm doing some small DraftKings things like the $3. I'll do the qualifiers because I really just want to get back to. I want to get back to doing the qualifiers. That was a lot of fun. Not like as in my main thing, but I can't wait to one day get back to a live final. I get impatient. I do really like the plan the team out. Yeah, I would love to say that I'm good at planning my team out when I get on, but when I did the slows last year, when I was on the clock, I took who I wanted. I didn't look. I didn't sit down. I wasn't patient. I didn't look to see what he's trying to do, what he's trying to do, what I should be doing, what I'm trying to do. If I was doing this full time, maybe, right? Maybe I sit down. Oh, double Pitts RB. All week 9 buys, by the way. The bye week police are going to get me. But we got a quarterback, we got Jordan Love. Not ideal to get it naked, but we got it. Yeah, last year I did all slows, but like five or six. Well, no, I did like 10 fast. Did about 140 slows on the underdog Millie Maker, and I got my butt kicked. So partially because I was drafting against the same set of players every time. You know what I mean? Like every time I jump in, those same people were also in those drafts, and they just straight kicked my butt. And I just feel like maybe it's because I have an edge in drafting. Obviously, I'm having fun with this lobby versus the ranks versus the lobby. I'm not too worried about it. If I lose, my teams haven't turned out terrible. There's a few teams I think there's like one team that I didn't like, but the rest of it's viable. Like, I don't think this team is awesome, but I think this is good enough to advance so far. I mean, so far. I know I'm beating but I'm also competing against people that are just bypassing CeeDee Lamb and just like, I thought this 4-hole was going to be doing well, and then he comes out and takes Kyler Murray. Build your team however you want, and maybe it works out for you. I'll never forget the year that I won it. I only did 11 teams on underdog. I advanced 5, and I got to the semifinals. And the team that advanced was like a 4 quarterback, 3 tight end, like 5 wide receivers, 6 wide receivers, and the rest were running backs. It wasn't a lot of running backs. It was like a lot of quarterbacks and a lot of tight ends. It was a really weird team. I would if I pull that up. Underdog. Please don't make me sign. Okay, good. Results. NFL. Load more. Been a lot of tournaments. Okay. Best Ball Mania 2 semifinals. I got 6th place, so wasn't good enough, right? Funny enough, Justin McManahan was in this one. Eric Beinford was in my thing. Titletown was in it. Holy shit! So the guy that won the drafters in 2022 was in my semifinals in Best Ball Mania 2. Eric Beinford, my good buddy Eric was in that one. Justin McManahan, who's in like everything. And so the team that won it was Bruce Willis. So, okay, I get it. Bruce Willis. He had 4 quarterbacks. He had Justin Herbert, Tom Brady, Trey Lance, Carson Wentz. He had 5 running backs: Dalvin Cook, Damian Harris, James Robinson, Devin Singletary, and Tevin Coleman. He had 3 tight ends: Mark Andrews, Rob Gronkowski, and Dawson Knox. And he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He had 6 wide receivers: A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Cooper Kupp, Brandon Ayuk, Sean Bateman, and Allen Lazard. Like, that team made it to the finals. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's what set me off thinking about a lot of things the next year. I'm like, well, literally any team can win this because that team got to the finals. The second place lost out by less than a point. Oh, tough day for that guy to lose to a 4 quarterback team. CCS Desperado sounds familiar too. Oh man. Raging Rhino. Hoop King, that sounds familiar too. Hoop King 21. Who did I have on the team? I had Matt Ryan, Baker Mayfield, Miles Sanders, Damian Harris, AJ Dillon, Leonard Fournette, Jerick McKinnon, Stephon Diggs, Calvin Ridley. That was the year he got suspended for gambling. Cooper Kupp, Pittman, Jacoby Myers, ASB, DPJ, Allen Lazard, Kyle Pitts, Rob Gronkowski, Hunter Henry. Almost. I lost by 20 points. Oh, I'm off the board, guys. I'm off the board. You guys got to tell me. And we got a double quarterback. There we go. There we go. We got nothing. We got Christian Kirk. There we go. We got a matching piece. We still have one more quarterback to take, one more running back, 6 more wide receivers, and 1 more tight end. We're going with what the construction that I won with in 2021/2022 season. I don't think I'm going to get any other pieces for Green Bay unless Musgrave falls to me for some reason. Other than that, I'd probably be a naked Jordan Love team. But we at least have some correlation with our Trevor Lawrence pick, which is nice. Let's see. Does anybody else do anything weird? 2-2-6-1. Stroud and Tua, not too wild. 1-4-1-2-6-1 1-4-1. Construction wise, nothing too wild. Other than that 4 holes going a little wonky. Again, he had like the best falling version of CeeDee Lamb to follow him, and then he kind of dropped the baby in round 6, and then just tumbled out. Like he just kept falling over. He got knocked out once and just kept standing back up and bonked down again. Happy with my Singletary shares though. Just as long as the other running back is not Cordell Patterson or the San Francisco guy, Elijah Mitchell, I think we'll be good. Oh, Gabe Davis goes. That makes sense. Yeah, my Gabe shares are probably going to go down some. I think I've talked him up enough now that in other people's bubbles he's going to be used a lot more or picked up a lot more because he's giving you the perfect realm of draft capital. You're getting a good spot for him, and he's giving you big spike weeks, or he's giving you nothing sometimes. But like those nothings don't really matter when you're 11th round pick. So I think he's going to be kind of shooting up the boards, and if he has anything happening in the preseason, anything good, he'll shoot up way too fast. So. And I'll probably still take him because I think you shouldn't give up on your priors, even though like they go up the board too far. Other than when Dameon Pierce went from practically not undrafted, but 150-ish. When it was like, I think it was 140 to 150. I was taking him every time at the 130 area, and then he had one preseason game. And he went from there to I saw it as high as the second round, and I was like, "This is wild." This is the year after I won it. I did the tape study. I realized, oh, this guy's good. He just wasn't on a good team. And still to this day, I still think Dameon Pierce is a good running back. He's just not the full workhorse type running back. He needs he needs somebody to be the pass catcher. He needs a Jaylen Warren. Which I wouldn't be surprised if they went after him after they get rid of Najee. I wouldn't be surprised if Jaylen Warren was matched up with Dameon Pierce. That seems like a regular combo that would work. At least nobody has 3 quarterbacks yet. Righty, we're done at running backs. Zach Charbonnet. We got Jerry Jeudy, I'm guessing. I'm just guessing. Jerry Jeudy. I've moved him up a couple spots here and there. So he is one of my. I'm getting higher and higher on the Browns, and I have zero reasoning for it. There's something that the Browns have done that has said, "Oh, we're going to be good this year," but I've kind of like talked myself back into Elijah Moore again. I've kind of talked myself back into Deshaun Watson, David Njoku, and like they're loaded. I mean, starting what like offense here. You got Amari Cooper and I just said his name, Jerry Jeudy. You got Elijah Moore in the slot. You got Nick Chubb, Jerome Ford in the backfield. You got David Njoku at the tight end, and you got Deshaun Watson, former Pro Bowl. Hopefully, he cares about football still at your quarterback position. I mean, on paper, they sound unstoppable. And then if one of those wide receivers get hurt, they got Cedric Tillman. Like, they are loaded at the wide receiver position or on the offensive side of the ball. And I think they were the number one defense last year, or top 5 at least. I don't know. There's a lot of things that could go well if they stay healthy and care about football still. Repping my Spike Week hoodie. I wasn't even intentionally doing it. I just put it on because it's comfy. It's a little short on me now because I've put on some pounds / I've tried this thing. So if you do get it like a size or 2 bigger than you normally do. It does shrink. Not their fault. It's just how stuff works. I did move up. Justin Fields again. I'm a sucker for Justin Fields. And it might be because he tore up my Michigan defense like way back when. And I'm like, man, you put this guy and he gets a starting spot. This guy, he has a cannon. I don't know. Maybe I'm wilding for thinking that he is a cannon, but he's got a cannon attached to him, and he's got feet, fast feet. I just think he gets an opportunity. They're going to fall in love with him. They might be frustrated, but they're going to fall in love with him because he's going to do something to win a game that's going to be absolutely incredible. So I've moved him up one spot ahead of my where I have in my ranks above Russell Wilson. And that's what I was talking about. If you get if you have 4 quarterbacks, but like one of them is for like one spot, I don't mind it. Especially those two, they're going so late, and the Vegas boys. If you want to take the chance, and because people always say, well, you have to bet like you're right. What if being right is having one play half the season, the other play the other half? Like, I don't mind making a bet on a quarterback field just like I did. You can with a running back, set. Or if you draft 2 wide receivers, they're both not going to be perfect in week 17. But if you have one for week 16, the other one for week 17, like it happened in most of my leagues, they got me knocked out. So week 16, T. Higgins had this monster game. And it knocked out a lot of my teams because I had Cooper Kupp on all 13 of my semifinals teams on DraftKings, and it knocked all of them out except for one. Nobody had T. Higgins in that pod, and thankfully I made it out of that. Oh boy, uncorrelated. I have Deontay. Perfect. All right, so quarterback is completed. He needs 1 more tight end and 4 more wide receivers. We also took Quentin Johnson, which I find it funny. He did have a drop. Like, he's had these bad drops so far in camp. It's like on point, right? But then he had this and everyone's like, you can't catch it unless he catches it in his body. I'm like, true, like that he is a body catcher. But then the next day I saw him 2-handed catch, just hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a good catch, and I was like, that was nice. And then the next day he dropped a body catch or something. He caught it with his body, and somebody's like, all he catches with his body if he's wide open. I'm like, just yesterday he caught it just strictly with his hands. People are in this world are just so negative. You got to be like, I see the upside in everybody. I see the potential in everybody. I don't like to dwell on the negatives so much. It's like, unless I see a zero upside, or I don't see the story on how they succeed. I'm not. Like I could see the story of succeeding like on a lot of players. Like Dalvin Cook, I just saw him getting hurt. He'd been hurt so many times that year, like that I faded him. I was like, I'm not touching it. Like, and thankfully, if fading Dalvin Cook that year was a good idea. And I also think when I was in that little argument on Twitter the other day, I guess that was yesterday. I think people fall in this camp of like they only listen to one person talking about it. I say this is why I call this Best Ball Nation, because I was like, you should listen to everybody. You should bring in everybody's opinion. You should listen to everybody and take little nuggets from everybody. Like that's what I did to win it. I was listening to the Osmo guys. I'd listen to Pat Mayo. I was listening to the ESPN guys. I'm not saying they were perfect. I'm not saying everybody you should listen. You should take everything everybody says and use it. I'm just saying you should take little bits and pieces from everybody and use it that way. I feel like some people have a big voice out there, and if you don't draft the way that those people draft, I feel you get crucified. If you draft differently and you post it, you're gonna get crucified, which is so dumb. Like, let's give praise for or ask them, hey, how are you thinking that's going to win? It's like, what's the story you're telling? With like ask. Don't be so like, well, this team's dead. Well, this is dumb. This is not plus EV. Just because something's not plus EV doesn't mean it's not going to work out. The team that won it the year after I won it, which had like zero quarterback to wide receiver correlate, like the quarterbacks were all naked. It was a weird team, right? If you want to catch up on that one, Tom from the Fantasy Sanctuary did do a really good job that Brent was talking about on the past winners. I gave him my lineup, and then I think every year after that, he had all the lineups either given to him or he researched them, right? The year after I won it, the guy team, I mean, he luck box. I mean, in some cases, you're just gonna luck box. That's why I was like, you shouldn't be going into these tournaments thinking you're gonna win. You're probably not. I maxed. I found out that I'm not one of the highest advance rate players ever, because I'll talk about that in a second. But you're probably not going to be profitable. Probably. I had 80 advance, and then in the second round, like after I got eliminated, I got $1,000 back. The tournament was 3,000, so we're still down $2,000, right? After the semifinals were down, I only made another $1,000. So we're down $1,000. Last place prize was $1,000. I went from 80 to 13 to 1. Now, I'm not saying that's how everybody's going to do. Like, some people are going to advance 6 into the finals. I doubt it, but maybe if your core is super tight. I don't know. I don't think people are coming with the idea that you're going to have to luck box into the right pots. Like, that's part of it. And that's another thing, like with people diversifying their portfolios so much, which is perfectly fine. Like, if that's how you want to play, it's not how I want to play, because the way I look at it is like, I'm building my DFS team for week 17, and I'm building it with these main components, and I'm hoping that somewhere along the lines I hit on another subset of players that take me from week 16 to week 17, and then that team that gets me there destroys. I'm hoping that's the case, but I'm hoping that my team will just do enough to get to week 17 and then explode on week 17. And imagine having Najee Harris on Christmas Day. That's got to be so much fun. Or, and if you're a Jaylen Warren guy, Jaylen Warren on Christmas Day, it's got to be fun. Didn't Zamir White destroy them last year? Zamir. Week 16? Is that week 16? Where's the stat news thing? Stats. Where's that website that I use for Najee Harris? He rushed. What should it tell me? 22 carries for 145 yards. It was against the Chiefs. Imagine if he has the stat line he did against the Chiefs. 22, 145. No passing work, but that'd be like 17 points. I wouldn't mind that. That 4-hole team is killing me. 4 tight ends after starting with Andrews and Ingram. Yeah. What else did he say something? Yeah. I mean, he dropped the baby. It's fine. Not everybody's a good drafter. And that's it could be their first year, right? And he doesn't know what he's doing. He's like, oh, dude, these tight end values, I got to take advantage of that. Maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe it's the right play. You never know. I don't think so, but I try to give them the benefit of the doubt that they. I don't. When you have more running backs than wide receivers, I think it's tough to advance. I think that's an overall. Everybody kind of knows that at this point that are seasoned drafters. Did he take a quarterback? No, he took a running back. Oboe. Who is his other quarterback? See, I think it's a little early for Justin Fields at 16, but I'm not mad at it either. Okay, so did he get Jaden? No. He just wants to bet on the Washington tight end position. I think OBJ still got some left in the tank, so I'm not mad at that either. I'm not excited about this wide receiver room. I have 2 solid ones, right? I have Kupp and Waddle. Actually, I like the 4 wide receivers I got on this team. I'm not excited about the other guys. Obviously, I'm starting to get excited about Jerry Jeudy, but I'm not like excited. I'm not mad at it either. We're gonna draft 1 more wide receiver. It'll probably be Brendan Rice still. He had a couple catchers. I'm not going away from it just yet. It's one of these guys that like I could see getting played time late and then taking advantage of that. I got 2 invested in that start. I don't really like the receiver options you're left with if you take Lamar Andrews in round 4 and 5. Yeah. All you have was Bateman and Devontae Walker, which isn't bad if you get shut out, which is why I always take Mark Andrews first, because then or if you get Lamar, it's awesome. If you don't, oh well. At least you're not a naked Lamar. Though you don't need anybody to go with Lamar. You could easily run him naked and be okay with it. I personally like to have my quarterbacks stacked with my tight ends. If I don't get that, the way I look at it is like I have an elite tight end, and then I can get another tight end that goes with my quarterback. Obviously, I didn't. Yeah, I'm auto drafting. So Chig, though I do like it, I don't want a lot of Chig. So maybe we'll move him back. Jatavian Sanders. Will Shipley, he's getting a lot of buzz. Right before I came over here, I was on my Best Ball Nation profile, and it suggested Liam to me, which whatever. So I popped in, and he's talking about he was big on Shipley. I was like, I think a lot of people were high on Shipley. So I should say a lot. I think there's quite a few of us that were high on Shipley. I didn't grab a lot of Will Shipley, but that's because I draft my running backs a little bit earlier. if I get shut out of running backs, he's definitely one of the people I focus on because I think he has higher upside. Because Barkley is not an injury case at all, but he has had injuries in the past. And they might run, he can outplay Kenneth Gainwell. Let's put it that way. Deneric Prince has been popping off. I need to move him up. I need to reset my rankings and start over. So maybe next Monday we reset the rankings and we start from scratch. I've just been busy. I haven't had a chance to really just start from scratch. Kids have been fairly needy, which is perfectly fine. 3592, 3583, 3673, 3754, 3754, 2773, 3683, 2783, 3510. That's what I did to take it down. Brad beats 3510, 3410, 3510, 3773. I'm curious if I've had any what's it called? Any influence on the 3510 CMC, Cup, Jalen Waddle, Trey McBride, Christian Kirk, Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris, Jordan Love, Jalen Warren, Devin Singletary, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Charbonnet, Jerry Jeudy, Quentin Johnson, Bryce Young, Chigakonkwo, Luke McCaffrey, Zay Jones, OBJ, and Brendan Rice. We like it. We have three Chargers? No, two Chargers. Two Chargers. We'll take it. We have a bring back for the Week 17 game with the Jags stack. I didn't get anything from Atlanta, Miami, and Cleveland. I didn't get any Chiefs this time around, but we have the Trey McBride and Cup to gain Detroit. It's okay. That's all right. No Tampa. That's okay. I am tired. Had a long day at work today. I got another 2 long days, and then I guess I won't see you guys this Thursday, as I will be in Myrtle Beach, and I'm not taking my computer setup because that'd be weird. So tomorrow, what do we usually do on Tuesdays? I already forgot. No, not qualifier Tuesdays. It's going to be, what do we do Tuesday? Small Dollar Tuesday. Small Dollar Tuesday we got going on tomorrow. We'll do a small dollar tournament tomorrow, whatever is the smallest on DraftKings. And then Wednesday, we will do qualifier Wednesday or something along those lines. Have fun and whatnot. If you guys could hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button. Please go to my Patreon and hit subscribe on that too. It's $5 a month. You get exclusive interviews. And if you are subscribed to the Patreon, please sign up for the Yahoo League. I'm just going to be giving $200 to Jose. And I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't mind that, but it's like, man, we need at least four people to sign up, total. I got 6 of y'all in there. Some of you guys got to subscribe or sign up for the Yahoo League. If not, Jose gets $200 from me. No questions asked. But that's, you can take $5 and take the chance to win $200 of my hard-earned cash. What else? We got something else. Exclusive. You got my rankings, exclusive interviews. And if you want me to review your team, that is also where you go. Yep. Apparently, I can't stop saying the word. Yep. So please subscribe. We're at 373. Dude, we are 27 away from 400. 3 years ago, Even though I won $1 million, I didn't expect anybody to follow or watch me. So I certainly appreciate all 373 of you. Go ahead, have yourself a great day. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun.